Dun, 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 dun.
This is you. This is you. FwooshCast.
FwooshCast.
This is us.
This is us.
FwooshCast in a way.
FwooshCast in a way. Hello again, and welcome to the latest edition of the FwooshCast live, at least for us.
Live, yeah.
And in person from our new location that is currently in progress for where we are going to be bringing you future FwooshCasts. That's kind of hard to say altogether. But FwooshCasts. Future FwooshCasts. But we got together for a weekend to review some toys, but then also kind of take a step back, just have some more discussion-based conversation where we can talk about the year that has been as we...
So far,
start
what is this,
to
9th
slide
month?
into the fourth quarter with the beginning of October right around the corner. So we wanted to take a step back and kind of look at the year that has been so far and maybe talk about our top 5 plus 1 and maybe some honorable mentions each of the toys that we have had the opportunity to get this year.
Some Fwoosh 5, 6.
Yeah, you know, I love doing conversations like this, and at the same time I hate them because... Obviously, the narrowing down to fit into a reasonable number to talk about during an episode, something like this, but also for the fact that I have a terrible recall when it comes to what has come out over the past year. Was this year? Was this the year before?
That's why.
And I always forget at least 2. Holy shit! I can't believe I forgot to have that on this list.
Plus, stack that on top of the fact that most of your stuff is in bins, bags, stacked up, packed up, getting ready to come out
in this
and in
luxurious space. Yeah,
not at my disadvantage, I'm 4 hours away from my collection.
Yeah,
so I can't just go pick something and then go choose out. Luckily, we have mostly the same tastes when it comes to most figures.
Yeah. Because I'm already thinking about how I don't have the Marvel Legends Wolverine sitting off camera here. How great he was,
but I also have the advantage. Well, same too. You do a lot of reviews on the front page. I do. I can go back through the YouTube videos, see what I've reviewed this year, which ones I've ranted about, which ones I haven't ranted about. So, and that's kind of a history of what come out this year. But I haven't reviewed everything I've gotten.
Right, yeah, me neither. But what I can say about this, though, and we're going to get into our lists here in just a second, is that while I feel mine's diverse because it's based off the merits of just being a great action figure. I have a nostalgic, attachment to a property or a character or a combination thereof. I can say that up until this point, and we still have, 3 months until the end of the year, I am positive that my figure of the year thus far is going to be talked about. It's going to be one of the ones that I have here now. It's just going to be a matter of making a decision between maybe like 2 of them.
And we've seen each other's picks, but we haven't discussed anything yet. So, I mean, of course we've seen them. We're sitting right across from the thing. Right. But I looking at your pile, I can already tell which one it is.
It's one of 2 over there.
Yeah.
It really is.
Oh, now you're throwing a curveball. You're like,
it's going to be.
May not be what you think
pick?
it is.
Yeah. How can I pick here? But
do your since you are the host here.
The host. Well, the hostess with the ghost is most. So
because
I always find ways to cheat through lists like this, and I want to bring up a couple of things. This is a terrible disservice to an absolutely gorgeous, amazing line based off of a property that, while I liked it, as a kid, I wasn't like super duper into it in the past. One of the figures that makes my honorable mention list is the Deadeye Duck from the Boss Fight Studios' new modern Bucky O'Hare line. The reason why he is an honorable mention is because I'm an idiot and I can't find the figure right now. He's in a bin and I can't locate him. But I'm sure my friend and cohort here is going to put up a lovely picture of him right here. Woo!
Right here.
He looks great.
And let me assure you that there is what do you think's over there? Like 100,000 action figures?
Stop it! It's not that many.
Okay,
It couldn't be more than 90.
900,000.
he's somewhere over there, and it's a shame because I hate not having him out. That's going to change soon. But he definitely is an honorable mention just because I can't find him. Otherwise, he would probably replace somebody who is currently on this list. So he's an honorable mention, and then I'm going to kind of squeeze these into two just because I want to mention them in that Jakks Pacific now has the U.S. rights, at least, to produce Mega Man figures. They're just now getting out of the gate, and they have come across with some of their 8-bit not action figures. I mean, there's a little bit of movement here, but I can't really call this an action figure. I didn't know there was any articulation. Yeah, there isn't any in the World of Nintendo line. There's no articulation there. But for these, there is. There's some add-on like weapon accessories and things that you can plug into them. It's just really fun. Granted, one of my biggest pain points as an action figure collector right now is the fact that I do not have a large and robust superposable Mega Man action figure line with anything other than Mega Man. So maybe I'm just trying to grasp at what I can get at this. But these are a unique execution. They do a really good job with it, and while this isn't, superposing its way, through the shelves or is really going to rock anybody as far as that goes, it's an interesting take. It's true to the original source material, and they're just kind of fun. I hope this continues, and Fireman thus far is my favorite from them. So he makes a good honorable mention, and then also I have the lone representative, because there could be a lot, from Moose Toys Grocery Gang line. Granted, I think Benty and I are probably the only two people on on staff that these appeal to in the least. But in spirit, this is kind of this is the modern, handoff from the Food Fighters line that I adore from the 1980s. Moose Toys does a great job with their Grocery Gang line, and they've had a lot of new characters come out this year. And Potato Punk is my spirit vegetable tuber, whatever you want to call him. He's the best in my opinion of what has come out this year, to a line that is totally off kilter. It is, meant for a younger audience. I think it's based off of a line that's just little tiny squishy, slug toys, the Grocery Gang.
For some reason, I have never heard of this. I heard of what was the original one?
Food Fighters.
Food Fighters. I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember ever having one or actually looking at one. This right here is my first time holding a food.
But this is one of the few things.
Action figure.
This is one of the few things that it didn't exist when I was young, so there is no nostalgia to it. Like I said, it's kind of the spiritual continuation of Food Fighters, but it is not that. It's one of the very few things that I have that I don't have a nostalgia connection to, but I love this line with everything. So. Not necessarily groundbreaking as an action figure, but the thought is good. The execution, as far as design goes, is fun. So I think it's worthy of an honorable mention.
I'm good with that.
So
I didn't even think of any honorable mentions. I can't. Like I said, I can't see my collection at the moment. I can't see my figures.
And there's more. There's more over there. Yeah. We're trying to pare it down to something reasonable, but then again, I got so many things in bins right now. It's like, oh yeah, I remember you. That's the only good part about having them in bins right now. It's like going to be rediscovering them all over again as I get them out and put them on the shelves that aren't built yet, but they will be soon.
I'll pick one, and it's not an honorable mention. It would probably be in my list if I had it in hand. Would be the Mezco, I think it was Deluxe Joker. That and a tie with it, because it goes right along, for me anyway, with the Toy Fair exclusive Night Ascending all black Batman. That's a pretty badass figure. Because I know you love cloth and such.
Well, I don't, but I do have some 112 collective figures, and I really do like the ones that I have. I'm very selective.
Oh, and your Hot Toys collection now has cloth clothes and such.
My one hot toy that I have, that I got to build up for the one that I'm really looking forward to. But
no.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello there.
Okay.
I'm a big Obi-Wan fan, which I guess we'll be getting to here in a few minutes. So.
Okay, top 6.
Top 6,
I'm gonna let you
5
start.
plus 1. No, I just did honorable mentions. So.
Oh, okay, honorable mentions.
And you are my since you
wanna
are
see
my
my
guest and I am your host. You talk about what is your pleasure.
My first action figure
is not an action figure.
The what was it? San Diego exclusive Red Skull with Tesseract.
Yes.
Not the Red Skull, even though I like that figure. But man, I had more fun with the Tesseract than
I would not have just bought the Red Skull. This is what the Skull. And now I want to run over and get the Infinity Gauntlet so we can play with that.
You got this at San Diego. We went back to the hotel. I went around the hotel looking for somebody with a screwdriver just so we could put batteries in this bastard to play with it. Because I had already had it.
Yeah.
A review sample.
As a review sample.
And this thing goes all over my house.
It's awesome.
It's fun.
It's
looks
a cube
good.
with a light in it, but it's got, the texturing on the inside. It's got a pulse to it. It's just something that is relatively simple, possibly benign, that's done very, very well.
Yeah. And when I first heard about it, even when I opened the box, I thought, what the hell? And as soon as I popped that battery into it...
It's great.
Yeah, I love it.
It's great.
So top 6 toys.
Well,
how about that?
Yeah, and that's totally fair because, the fact that I saw it and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And you said, you should really get it. I got it, brought it back to the hotel, and I was like, yeah, I like this. The fact that we went out of our way to find batteries and a screwdriver to take it apart in order to do it.
It took 4 or 5 hotel employees to get a screwdriver.
But they came through. So thanks to the Sheraton by the airport in San Diego. Yeah. But when it did finally kind of come to life, then it's like, I am so glad that I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen some third party. Well, I have a third party one.
Do you?
Just as nice, just as good. But yeah, Hasbro didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
And plus, this goes along with their shield. That goes along with the Iron Man helmet, Thor hammer, gauntlet. They're doing a great job with the prop replicas.
Yeah, I like
this. As simple as this seems,
it's also I think one of their more effective pieces. Mjolnir's cool, but the effect and things attached to it doesn't work as well as this does.
Yeah. There's power here.
Yeah.
There's some power.
And now you don't have to drive home.
No, I can. I'm out.
Yep, later.
That's my number 1. Well, number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Starting it there. Okay. Well, then I'm gonna go with my number 6 to begin this, and this is gonna kind of come with a. It's a top 6 because for whatever reason you want it to be, right? So number 6 actually comes in for me with the Mattel WWE Fan Central, I think, Elite Bobby the Brain Heenan. This is one of the very last things that I ever bought at Toys R Us. Because he was exclusive to there. So there's a little bit involved there. And I'll be honest with you. I am a total sucker for Golden Age from about 1985, maybe a little bit before that, even though I didn't know the era then because I was too young, until about 92-ish. That's my jam. I love that time. And I think about wrestlers that I like from that time, the big icons. I was more of a heel fan, and Mr. Perfect was my favorite wrestler, and there are lots of cool wrestlers at that time. But if I have to think about it, I really do think that Bobby the Brain Heenan is probably what I love the best thinking about that era of wrestling. What he brought, how he was ultimately, you can talk about Andre the Giant handing it off to him, Macho Man feuding with him, whatever. This guy, he is the one who helped make Hulk Hogan as successful as he was, because he was the ultimate heel to Hulk Hogan. And then when he went in the booth with Gorilla Monsoon, there has never been better back and forth banter wrestling commentary since that time. And this figure just kind of captures all of that.
Well, see, for me, I didn't get into wrestling till after that, about 95.
So you came to wrestling a little bit older. I came into it as a kid.
Because I remember the cartoon. Rockin'
Rockin'
Wrestling.
Wrestling?
Yeah, I remember that and stuff. But I didn't get into wrestling. I remember my first one was a Halloween Havoc where it was the Steiners versus the Nasty Boys, maybe? I don't know. Again, long time ago.
Yeah.
But I don't remember Heenan until he was commentary on Monday Nitro.
See, you missed his...
But even then...
You missed his Gorilla Monsoon golden era.
Yeah.
I mean, the two of them going back and forth, it's just... It's pure gold. He is one of the best on mic. He was one of the best on mic performers which those guys carried more weight than they get credit for. Most of it made up, at least to some effect, on the spot. Just everything that he ever did was perfect, or even if it wasn't, he sold it like it was. And I'm thrilled to have Bobby the Brain Heenan, and like I have the WrestleMania 3 in the white tux. That's very pointed. This is like his normal manager get up here, and this figure makes me happy, even with all the wrestler figures that I have now, because Mattel has done a really, really nice job.
I still haven't bought
getting
very many.
My classic collection is going to look bad. Once it's out again, you're going to see it. And it's I don't know those guys, but that's...
Well, I know a lot of the guys, but I'm more of a modern...
It's a badass collection.
Well, yeah, the Attitude Era, Monday Nitro, NWO era, and then I until just a couple of years ago, and now I'm back into it heavy.
Yeah.
But I'm not catching up on that many figures from Mattel.
Well, they're expensive.
Yeah, I can't.
But the Brain, to me, he represents everything that I absolutely love from that era. Mattel does a great job with their Elite line, especially the Golden Age guys that I love. So he is, very good and representative of that. So that's why he makes my list.
Okay.
All right.
Number 6. Okay, number 5. I'm going to cheat.
Okay.
I don't even know if it's called cheating.
We are honorable mentioning and cheating our way all the way through this conversation.
Through the whole thing. This figure didn't come as is.
Okay.
It came as 2 separate parts. I think one part of it isn't from this year. The other part is from this year. It would have been
the very beginning of this year.
And that would be Gus. And this may be just me. Even though I see a lot of people making him, I'd never dreamed...
And that's my Gus. That's not even your Gus.
This isn't even my Gus. But for me, it's become such an integral part, because I started thinking, Solo was just earlier this year. I've only been talking about Gus for about 6 months. It feels like a lot longer.
Yeah.
Maybe
a little bit ahead of... Solo, but not much, because the Range Trooper wasn't shown.
Right. No, don't get me... I love the Range Trooper. I love the original Ego figure, just because. But... And what started out as a joke, just a throw-off during a weekly where I, was making fun of the design, really.
It's a good design.
Just snowballed. Oh, no. I was making fun of it.
Snowball.
Snowball. Balls. But I never... I figured, I'll post that weekly. I'll go on, never review the Range Trooper when it...
People are bananas for him.
But when people started talking about it, I thought, that'd be cool. I'd channel my inner hillbilly. My inner mountain man.
So Star Wars has made strides in the Disney era, I think, to bring in people who haven't had good representation in Star Wars before.
Why not?
Why not the
backwards thinking, dirty, filthy old
I'm going to eat this raw Minoc.
Yep. Everything's pretty sexy.
He wrestled him a wampa, yeah.
There ain't nothing I can't do. Or will do. For a can of beer and $1. It just became something, And now every review, Gus pops up. And if Gus doesn't pop up, I get comments on it. So
he's even got his own Mountain Dew can now. So.
Yeah, well, he has a Budweiser now. So he's moving on up.
So the Fwoosh Robo, the Robo figure has his own Mountain Dew.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah. So number 5. Gus. From a personal, somewhere in here.
But here's Gus. The thing. As stupid as this sounds, as soon as my Star Wars display is up, he's going to be a part of the actual display.
That's where he stands. Well, okay. if I know I'm going to be gone for a while and I'm cleaning up, he'll go on the Star Wars shelf. But most of the time, my review space, he's off to the side.
Yeah.
Where he could pull right in whenever he wants to glide in.
All right.
And Pete's down on the floor. What? So, not a bad thing.
No.
It's a good figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be more mobile, but it's more sentimental now than it is actually.
It's an Solo did a great job on a lot of things, and I really dig that movie. But they did a cool job of integrating more, just like Rogue One, more new features, special type troopers to the universe. And I think the Range Trooper, as crazy as it is, was another good addition to that. Because, I mean, they didn't have to do anything like that. They could have just made them snow troopers,
right?
You know?
Right.
But
it adds to.
And now he's without his helmet. He's, I don't know how you could get that.
That's
that mane underneath that helmet.
Majestic mane on top of his head. Gus is essentially people I grew up with, relatives, older relatives, that is stuck somewhere back in here.
And now they're in a galaxy
far, far away.
Far away.
Forever remembered.
And right on your shelf.
Yep.
All right. So number 5.
Number 5.
We'll let Gus have a spot. That's good. All right. For me, number 5. When I think about a top 5, top 6, whatever the hell we're doing list here, I like to have representation, like different types of execution, you know, and thinking about things like, well, they can't all be Marvel Legends, even though I can make a top 10 or SH Figure Arts, Star Wars, or whatever.
You're saying all this, but I'm looking over at mine going.
But I think about it, it's like there have been a lot of cool Build-A-Figures that have come out this year, or just build characters that build up. So, you know, because Build-A-Figure is generally applied to Marvel Legends specifically. But
any figure you build,
one of the best and I think underrated build up, collect and connect figures that has come out this year is this new Clayface figure.
Did he come out this year?
He did. It was early this year.
Was it early? Because in my head, this wave seems to have been coming out for the past 2 years. But
he was
just
shown
getting
off
it this year.
at Toy Fair, and that's why I think he was right about the February timeframe, because it was like two years, I think, after he was originally shown off. Yeah, he finally came out.
Either way, you got him this year.
Yes,
I don't even have him yet. I haven't seen all the figures.
And this is just a fantastic. This and King Shark.
I see. I haven't put together King Shark either.
Mattel, guys, I like the multiverse line. A lot of the styles and whatnot aren't directly speaking to me, but I don't expect that to be the case. So I enjoy the more classic characters as I get them. So I do collect it. This is what your collect and connect should be.
It's big. It's bulky. It's kind of cool.
It's technically
really cool.
modern, but
right.
It's close enough that can be a classic Clayface.
And I've heard the comments of, it looks like a pile of shit.
It's Clayface.
It's Clayface. And having it, I've never seen it in person. I have the head.
Yeah.
Batwoman.
Yep.
Because I had to get her. So I've seen that. It's always been pretty neat.
He was worth getting some TV figures that I don't care two craps about.
Right.
To build this up. Because he's
good. He's articulated.
Yeah.
I like this. This makes me want to go hunt down the rest of this wave. Not that I haven't been looking. It's just that I've never seen them all in one place.
And I got it from Big Bad Toy Store because it was over and done with. Yeah. I just ordered it.
It's kind of breaky in the elbow, but
it's not
at the same
bad.
time, it's Clayface.
Yeah, it's not bad though. And if you have him posed right, on the shelf, you don't really see it. But I like the proportions. I like the bulk of it.
And he's easy to stand.
I'm such a huge DC Comics fan. And this is the type of thing that I don't get very often anymore because the multiverse line is meant to be more diverse. So I understand it and I get it. So getting something like this it makes me happy.
I like the dry brush. Yeah, that makes me want to hunt it down.
Yeah. He's cool.
He's cool.
I like him. So, kind of the de facto Build-A-Figure, collect and connect, whatever you want to call it, representative on my list. But I genuinely do think this is a fantastic figure and worthy of mentioning on a top 5, 6 with honorable mention, whatever list.
I'm down for that.
Clayface. Booyah.
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 That's down to 4?
We're up to 4.
Up to 4,
up
down to 4.
Down to 4, yeah.
I am going to pick the Medicom Mafex Dark Knight Joker. Not a perfect figure. And on this right here, well, I don't know if you can see it, it's got the police Joker alternate jail
head.
Cell Joker head.
Which is the better head.
It's a badass looking head. But I don't picture him in the suit with that hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That look.
Uh-huh.
Either way.
Uh-huh.
I like this figure.
It's my figure. I'll do what I want with.
The trench coat is a little bit restrictive.
Uh-huh.
People dog Mafex because of past figures, but they have made strides over the past couple of years to up their QC.
Yeah,
yes,
their
still
Boba Fett's are 2 of the best figures I own.
Yeah,
so.
every company has stumbles, and every now and then they have a stumble here. But I have not had a problem with this line, the Dark Knight trilogy line.
Yeah.
I love the Joker, I love the Batman, I love the Bane, I love the Scarecrow, I love the Two-Face.
Are those all out?
Oh,
now?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But Joker, most of all. People like the NECA. There's nothing wrong with the NECA figure. But for me, this fitting in with the rest of how deep Medicom has went with this line, it's just icing on the cake. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful makeup icing.
I mean, I guess it is the 10-year anniversary of that movie, and maybe that has played into my, I guess, nostalgia for it. But I've watched it probably a couple of times in the last 6 months, and man, I don't care what anybody says. I still enjoy that movie from start to finish. With,
Dark Knight?
Without mentioning anything. Yeah, of course, some things are like, what? Okay, whatever. But they're not even worth mentioning because the overall experience is so great, and I love that movie so much.
Yeah,
and this is why.
I like Batman Begins, and I like Dark Knight Rises. I love it so much. I do. But the
not
Dark Knight,
as much as this one.
The Dark Knight, I saw that in the theater, and it was like, oh.
Yeah.
And that was after months of, why is Heath Ledger in this role, blah, blah, blah.
And
seeing it on oh, yeah, he blew your freaking mind
Yeah.
in this role. Mm-hmm. And I'm a sucker for dudes in makeup.
The Crow.
The
Sting
Crow.
as the
Sting
Crow.
as the Crow. Sting as Surfer Sting.
Yeah.
Joker. There's just something there.
Yeah.
So, Medicom Mafex. Dark Knight Joker.
Cool.
I'm even good with that head on there right now.
It's the better head, even though you're right. The hair doesn't
quite
really
fit
go.
that.
But
and I will say, the original head for that figure is a little pixely from the printing, even at normal human distance.
This one
is a little bit better, but I still love it. I still love it more than the SH Figure Arts or the Mattel original version. That's the way to go. I'm good on the Joker. Well, okay, that version of the Joker front. I'll
still
take
need a
any
nurse Joker. So Medicom, if you're listening, which I know you are not,
there's no reason for you to be listening to this.
We need a nurse Joker at this scale because I'll be all over that.
Nurse Joker, Alfred, Gordon.
Gordon would be a big one for me.
Rachel.
What about
Rachel?
What about Lucius, Mr. Wayne?
Submarine.
Submarine, Mr. Wayne.
But as far as they've gone, I'm happy with where they're at.
Yeah.
With where they at.
Where they at? Nurse Joker. Nurse Joker and Gordon would be my 2 next picks for that. But that combination together for me,
this is the only figures from that line you got. Police Joker and this Joker.
One. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you agree with me?
I do.
That it's one of the better.
I do. But you know what's funny is that to me the design of that Joker, and now I'm getting a little off course here, but I pose the Suicide Squad SH Figure Arts Harley Quinn with that Joker, and I think they look awesome together.
Yeah, yeah.
I do. I like it. It works. It works for me.
Wait, which one? Oh, the SH Figure Arts?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that Harley.
Yeah.
It fits in with this line better.
Yeah.
For some reason, Medicom, for all their strides that they've made to fix their quality issues.
Harley wasn't good.
The Suicide Squad line is bigger scale than the Dark Knight line. Yeah. So, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I don't know why I mentioned that. Those two figures together, they both look great, and they look great together. Even
two
though
great tastes that go great together.
Reese's only homicidal maniacs together at last. Okay.
Number 4.
Number 4. This one is actually a brand new addition because he just arrived earlier this week, and it is Rap Trap from the Super 7 Masters of the Universe Classics Collector's Choice. And now I think they're deeming it the 10th anniversary line on top of it because 2018 is the 10th. So Masters of the Universe Classics is the same age as The Dark Knight. So we're celebrating 10th anniversary, and there are a lot of reasons why this figure makes this list solidly. Because number one, the quality that Super 7 has accomplished in these new figures, they're not perfect, is better than what they offered in kind of the first round. And I still love the Masters of the Universe Classics line. It's slow to come out now. And it's really into a collection of characters that you've got to really be a Masters fan to be all in with.
Because, I have no clue
they're
who
so
Rap
obscure.
Trap is.
Well, I mean, let's face it. He was a concept drawing for a Horde mummy, and that's all the further that it ever got.
Right.
And while Mattel was making this line, it was so inconsequential in terms of it was just a drawing on paper that people saw and went bananas for. Mattel didn't even really know, according to them or the stories that came out at the time, if they could make that figure because of rights or something. Legally make it. So, but for drawing on a piece of paper, it was one of those things that I fell in love with instantly because the Horde is kind of like the quote-unquote universal or monster representations in, Masters of the Universe, because you got Grizzlor was the Wolfman, Hordak's kind of a vampire.
Don't be teaching me new stuff to make me
Leech
like...
is kind of like Creature, and there's a mummy, and then there's the Horde mummy who is now called Rap Trap, and I loved it. It was one of those things that I let myself love it too much because I was convinced that it would never happen. But now Rap Trap and also Karg from the movie that came, or technically from the comic book adaptation of the movie, because that's his deco and how they were able to make him. I never thought that these figures would ever be able to be made. And now that he has been made, he is freaking awesome. And Rap Trap and Karg almost to the same extent, him a little bit more, got me back to that old feeling of when Masters was at its peak. And every month I could not wait to get the new figure to come out and add to what it has turned into a pretty glorious collection.
Yeah.
So
I had that feeling too until they canceled my subscription. And then I was like, you know what?
Forget you.
You want to be that way?
Yeah.
I'll just order what I want. But like, unlike you, I was never that deep into the lore or into the characters. So when they started making characters that I didn't really, I'm mostly a Filmation kid. I watched the Filmation. I didn't get into the cartoons or the drawings or the background. It just wasn't my, it wasn't Star Wars. It wasn't Transformers. It wasn't Marvel.
Yeah.
So when Rap Trap came out, or when I saw it on your bar when I got here, I'd seen the prototypes and stuff, and I've heard the stories. But before that, no clue. I had no clue. But it is a neat looking figure. You
look at this figure, and it's like, it is a muscled out mummy from the evil Horde with bandages and this lime green bright skin.
And they did a nice dry brush on that. I'm going to nitpick because it's not one of my favorite figures of the year.
Okay.
Only because I don't know who it is. But they dry brush the green, but there is some on the wraps.
There's a little bit
some
on
white
the
on top of an ivory color. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
But then they made these hard plastic.
Yeah,
These little
and that's why I said the joints are still a little stiff. Mm-hmm. The wraps hanging off are pretty hard plastic, so they're not perfect yet. But
even He-Man Classics, from its inception, yes, there's articulation, but it's not meant to be super
range of movement.
Yeah. Its basis is in Mattel, and so that carries over.
Yeah.
But at least these follow that style to fit in with all your classics figures.
And this is my favorite.
I can't complain.
He kind of represents both him and Karg, because it's very, very close. I think he's like this much ahead of Karg overall for me, but these are the best. He and Karg, to me, are the two best Super 7 figures offerings so far. Their ultimate editions, their ultimate editions were smashing. That Ram Man is just amazing. But in terms of brand new figures go, he and Karg are not only my favorites, but I also think that they're the best ones.
Cool.
So he is number 4.
Number 4
list for me. Yep.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Now, you remember Veebs? When was that? Long time ago. You talking about diversity and trying to pick from different lines and all that. I'm gonna go ahead and pick another Star Wars figure.
That's okay, because I think that's what I have up next too. But I haven't had Star Wars yet.
This is just the second one. But again, I'm picking from your collection. You don't have everything I have, but you have a lot of what I have. But I'm gonna pick the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series. Is that Last Jedi? Rey?
Yeah.
Island Journey?
Adventure Journey.
Islands of Adventure. Rey. Now, okay. I hear people moaning. I hear people groaning. But I like Rey. I like this figure. But what this figure represents is Hasbro going, you know what? We can do that too.
It's the turning point. Yeah.
This is the figure where we started the Star Wars Black Series line, and it was like just possibilities, endless, blah, blah, blah.
And that first series was painted very nicely.
And then it dropped off paint-wise. Don't get me wrong, I still love the line.
It dropped way off paint. I mean, let's not be...
No.
My
own personal feelings, I still liked him. But you looked at Han Solo and you thought, oh, why is he G.I. Joe-ish?
After this pilot Luke, and then all of a sudden Han Solo, we've been waiting for the perfect Han Solo and then it was like...
Yeah. And then it became, the Black Series is for the aliens, for the troopers. I'll go to Figure Arts for the humans. I'll go to Metacom for the armored characters. I'll do the model kits for the robots and this and that. But this figure is Hasbro saying, we're coming back around.
We can do this,
And all the face printing, I had to think about it for all the face prints. Even for characters I don't really care for, the face printing is on par, if not better, than Figure Arts.
It's very good.
Yeah. Figure Arts, you can still see Hasbro doesn't use it on the whole face.
Right.
I think if Bandai would stop trying to shade their faces with that same printing, you wouldn't be able to see the pixels and the dots and stuff. Hasbro uses it very sparingly in the eyes and the eyebrows, maybe the lips, and it totally works because it puts that lifelike, realistic detail that makes you think, oh, is that an actual photograph of the character? And Rey and Rex came out about the same time?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there? Both of those, I went,
here we go.
Yeah. I'm buying all the Hasbro. Oh, I was buying all the Hasbro stuff anyway, but I wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I can say, the line had its dark days, but I was still a completist during that whole time.
But these are main display figures, not the shelf of oddball toys.
Right.
To finish up my Star Wars stuff.
And let's face it. I mean, even with other companies like coming together, or not coming together, but releasing things at the same time, you're still not going to get that depth of the whole line as you're going to get with the Black Series. And frankly, the technology that they're using now is so good.
Yeah.
They could get me to go back and buy everything just about that was released without it.
Oh, man, Lando was right there.
Lando.
Oh, man, I hate that Lando was a little bit early before photoreal.
I mean, I love Rogue One, and I love the characters from Rogue One, but man, some of those suffered the worst.
Cassian
and Jin. Poe from episode 7 and 8, really. 8 was better than the 7 version. But man, Poe he suffered so bad and continues to do so.
People talk about head packs.
They're
never going to happen. That's too easy when they can sell you a whole figure for the same price for one. They're a company. They're out to they have to make money.
Yeah.
So
and really the good bad part about it is that at least for the original trilogy, the 40th anniversary of A New Hope, that vintage line on the old style cards, that was a big success for them. So it stands to reason that we can reasonably assume that they're likely going to go in and do the same thing for Empire Strikes Back. When that time comes around. And then Lando may get his shot.
Yeah, but Lando is getting photoreal with the skiff guard.
That's true.
So, but the hair's
different.
Yeah. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, right? 40th is what year after next?
2020. Yeah.
So it misses the.
They're planning it right now.
Yeah.
They're planning 2020. Yeah.
So Island Journey Rey, for what she represents to Hasbro as a whole in their Star Wars line, it was like, you know what, we're gonna quit. We're gonna quit. Just we got to
step it out. Yeah.
Because they were people were
coasting, and then people were like, shh, hold on. There are other options out there, which kind of segues into.
And then Mafex strangely stopped making Star Wars figures. Who knows?
Yeah.
But okay. Which speaking of foreign companies making Star Wars figures,
I'm a large fan of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And just recently it was announced that Bandai will be producing the compatriot of the Episode 3 Anakin Skywalker that is shipping to me as we speak, with the Episode 3 Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is my favorite overall look for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and really probably my favorite overall portrayal of Obi-Wan Kenobi is Episode 3. But Episode 4, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's the reason why I love Obi-Wan Kenobi so much, because as a kid, he talked about these Jedi fighting and this and that, and really made me want to know more about those times and him, and what you think about the prequel trilogy trying to put that forward. It doesn't matter. But Bandai SH Figure Arts Episode 4 Obi-Wan Kenobi makes this list for several reasons. He's one of my favorite characters, obviously. I am a plastic cloak.
He's on my list. He would be on my list too if I had mine with my cloth robe.
Okay.
Yeah.
People were worried about the face not working. The final product, which Bandai, SH Figure Arts, they're like the Benjamin Button of prototype to production, in that generally prototypes of action figures, by nature of the fact that they are handmade, hand-painted, and not something that is mass-produced, generally look better than the ultimate releases. However, SH Figure Arts has this, and we talked about this, that they have this way about the production printing on their faces is better than what they're able to accomplish via prototyping. And this figure surprised me how much I ended up liking the final product, and a lot of that has to do with that. So,
well, that on top of, they really get into the macro pictures on the prototype and such.
Yeah.
And when you see the stuff it shows, I don't know how it is overseas, but you always know at the Bluefin booth, the lighting is so shitty whenever you photograph this stuff. Yeah. I don't think there's a good picture of Joker, of Batman, of some of the wrestlers, of Shredder. Because, oh man, those lights are terrible that they use in the booth. So you never get a good idea of what you're getting until you get them. Even when we take pictures or I do a video review, I have to say...
It doesn't do it the justice. You have to have it.
You have to normal distance with normal eyes.
And I will tell you this. As much as Episode 3 Obi-Wan has been my most wanted Bandai figure for a while now, right up there with that, completing the heroic side of the original A New Hope cast has been my top priority in this line for a very long time. Came out a couple of months ago. Leia comes out in December. That essentially does it across for Bandai. And as much as I love the Black Series and the strides that it has taken, this group will be front and center, the main right at eye level focus of my Star Wars display.
Yeah.
Probably for good.
Well, when I talked up, Hasbro kicking it up a notch with Rey, they're not knocking figure arts off my shelf. I mean,
and this is really the reason why they stepped up, is this
neck
company.
and neck.
Yeah.
Neck and neck. Because they still do things like articulation a little bit better. I don't know why I went into this to talk about articulation. But Hasbro's really going after them.
But they forced Hasbro to take their steps into a larger world.
And it's all the better for our shelves.
Right.
We benefit from competition.
Right. Yep.
We may see a price increase because of the new technology involved in doing this.
But the way I see it is I'm already paying $50. And granted, these only come out one at a time.
Yeah,
usually,
not a whole wave at a time.
Right.
And with Hasbro kicking up, the next case coming out has 8 new figures in it?
Yeah,
but
slowing down the amount of assortments a year.
Yeah.
But having more
new figures
per case, so it kind of evens out.
Yeah. But that's all at one pop, which is cool. I'm good either way, as long as I get new characters for my shelf or updates for figures that I need. I'm one of those guys that I don't mind if an update comes along.
The figure arts line, though, it's like that's never going to be what makes up the majority of your display. That's always going to be Black Series because they just can't keep up with it by sheer numbers. But these are like the roses or whatever you want to say. Yeah. It's like. It's just that.
Yeah.
It's what brings the whole collection up to the next level, and the fact that we're closing out A New Hope's main cast,
and hopefully Figure Arts or Bandai or Tamashii Nations has been waiting. Because we haven't seen a lot of Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
Maybe they're going anniversary-wise. Or we're seeing prequel stuff next year.
Right.
Dooku. That and it's the
but that's the thing. Them closing this out, and then for me personally, getting Obi-Wan, Episode 3 Obi-Wan and Dooku, then it's like, okay, there are still some figures out there that I really want, but it's like now just I'll take them as they come because my priority list has come down to I've gotten everything that I was like I can't live without these now, and this was definitely one of them. And they've shown off a hologram version of, or not hologram, Force Ghost version of this same Obi-Wan. I don't know if that will ever be released, but
you never know.
If it does, then I'll be all over it because Obi-Wan's a popular character in Japan, and Bandai has done a great job in getting all of his looks now across. So I'm happy, and this is the figure that I want. That I have always wanted, of the version of Obi-Wan that made me want to know more about Obi-Wan and like him so much from the beginning. So that is why he is on my list.
And I agree.
I'm glad.
I concur. Let's move on. Okay.
All right.
Number two. Okay, this is a property that scared the hell out of me when I was a kid.
Yep.
But I held off on watching the new movie until this year. And then we get the figures. What is this? Preach it.
Yep. Let me hear it.
And that would be NECA's 2017.
Wow.
I did that. Pennywise from It. And like I said, I didn't watch this movie until this year. So, because I always thought, I saw the commercials.
Didn't you want to watch it, Georgie?
Just half-assed watch them.
Come on, Robo. Don't you want to watch it?
And I thought...
Get popcorn?
There's no way. There's no way it's going to be scarier. And I don't think this is scarier.
It's different scary.
Yeah, it's a different scary. but kind of awesome. It's entertaining. You kind of, you want to see more of Pennywise. It's just freaky.
Yeah.
It's freaky scary kind of in a way. And the figure perfectly represents that kind of creepiness with its articulation.
Yeah.
You can turn the feet in. Mine has one of the eyes kind of off to the side. And at
That's
first
accurate.
and in most figures I would have went like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
But on this figure, it kind of enhanced the look of it.
And this is the GameStop exclusive.
This is the GameStop, the bloody version.
I Love Dairy version, balloon version with the Georgie hand and whatnot. But it's representative enough of this and the standard version to be there. I will say, nothing is ever going to... The release of this movie and this interpretation of Pennywise exists on a plane of its own, and I absolutely love it. It has not decreased my love for the original Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
I will say, Tim Curry carried the entire miniseries, okay?
Yeah,
He's the reason why you remember it and you like it, and his performance was so psychologically frightening, especially for, I was like maybe 8 years old or something when the original came out. But I watched it on TV, and he was scary as shit. This Pennywise is scary as shit as well. But this, I will say, is a better figure overall than the NECA 90 version. But that 90 version would still be creeping up in a top 10 list of the year for me.
I still hold... I don't know. I still feel like that 1990 Pennywise was sculpted years ago.
Really?
It feels like the articulation and how it's implemented in the figure is kind of outdated at this point.
Okay.
It's almost like that sculpt's been laying, and I'm not saying that's true. That's just a feeling I have playing with it and playing with it and playing with this. This feels like it was sculpted recently. The articulation is all nicely implemented. He's got a lot of range of movement.
A
lot of expression. The other one doesn't.
Figurally, I will say that this is, I believe, overall, in the figure itself, executed better. However, how they kept the 90 Pennywise to the same price point with everything that he comes with. What is it, 7 or 8 of these balloons?
Which are cool.
4 heads, right?
And I will say, because of how the articulation is implemented on that figure, it keeps the silhouette of his baggy costume intact.
And I'll be honest with you, though, I can excuse the articulation that isn't quite as functional in that one, because this one would be the one that I would like if I was going to pose him weird. It would be this one. That one, he needs to hold the balloons and pointing.
They both do what they need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't. It's hard for me to believe, which I wouldn't, but I wouldn't put it past NECA to have that in mind whenever they were sculpting it.
Yeah, it could be.
So it's hard to. Oh, let's make it as if this figure was made in 1990 for this movie that came out in 1990, and then vice versa for this one.
Right.
But this is just a creepy figure. I know people. I've talked to people where they're like, "I'm not buying that figure.
I don't want it in my house.
My wife sure as hell doesn't want it in my house. I want a 1/4-inch scale figure of this.
That would be cool.
And I don't have any 1/4-inch scales.
You know what I would buy? I would buy like a tabletop, maybe like half scale or 1/4 scale version of him just down in the sewer looking up, like that thing that we saw at Comic-Con.
It was the bust of the head, and if you look down through the hole, you could see
him.
Down around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know what life size of the grate.
Wouldn't that be cool? Like, okay, like in the corner of the dark corner of the collection room.
How about a yard gnome top thing of that you can put in your yard?
Yeah.
As you walk up your sidewalk.
Well, and see, that was the thing. Last Halloween, when the movie came out, I wanted to put a red balloon coming out of a sewer grate out in front of the house, and Lacey wouldn't let me do it. She was like, "You're gonna scare everybody,"
and have a boat going down.
But I can't wait for the next movie to come out. No. I hope that there will be something from the next movie that will be enough to have NECA come back and say, okay, this is different enough, so let us refresh and get another version of him out there.
And the kids.
The kids would be amazing. I got the kids from Funko in the 9-inch line, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Wait, 9-inch
or nine point of articulation.
Yeah, the little small figures.
Small figures.
And you guys, after seeing yours, made me
gotcha.
Yeah,
on there.
I have a couple more to hunt down, but it doesn't compare to this.
Yeah, NECA is not going to make all the kids. I believe that. I would settle for Georgie to stand next to
Richie.
to him. Well, Richie's the best. Richie. Yeah, you're gonna make me buy that motherfucking figure.
So
yeah, Richie's the best.
Out of left field. I didn't care at the first of the year. I didn't care about the movie. I saw the figures. Did they show this at Toy Fair?
I think so.
They showed. Wait, I think they showed 90. And this one kind of popped up after, maybe.
Did it? Okay.
I don't remember. But I didn't care. I just pre-ordered it thinking, it looks like a cool action figure. Then I saw the movie. Then
the movie's the shit. This. And these figures are great. And NECA knows how to do characters like this.
Yeah.
And they did a great job. So I'm with you on that. Had you not chosen him to be on this list,
when I saw him in your tub a minute ago, I thought, oh, that's got to go on the list.
Yeah, he's a good one. Okay,
you're number 2, and I'm in suspense here because
which one am I going to pick?
Yeah, which one are you going to pick? I have a good feeling of which one you're going to pick.
So right now, I have a neck and neck race for figure of the year, and I am not going to rule out anything that could come out this year between now and December 31st, because something could still come out and go, wow. But I'm going to do part 1 of 2 of my number 1.
You cheating bastard.
Right now, and continue.
But you're picking the one.
The NECA.
You haven't put it on screen yet.
Love in.
So it's neck in NECA.
Neck and NECA is Donatello represents all 4 of the Ninja Turtles, but since Donatello is my favorite,
he's the best turtle.
Ninja Turtle. He's the best turtle,
Undisputed.
especially in the movie.
Yeah.
The once San Diego exclusive 1990 movie Turtles that are the shrunken down versions of the quarter scale Turtles, of which Donatello, the year that came out, that was my figure of the year. A 1/4-inch scale figure was my figure of the year. It continues to be just as strong, if not stronger, in pretty much the scale that I love more than anything else. These turtles, these figures are they're like a revelation. What I have wanted since I got out of school, taken out of school early to go see this damn movie back in 1990. Everything about these figures is perfect, and I love them more than I can say.
You know, you want to hear something odd, and you know this. This is my first time holding one of these.
You have them.
I have.
You haven't opened them.
I haven't had a chance to open them.
What's wrong with you?
Well, it took a little while to get them.
We should have set up the building backdrop right here. Because that's so good too.
That was a mischance or a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But holding it in hand, the pads kind of restrict the knees and the elbows. But oh man, you stand him up in a pose. Holy shit!
You get them all together, all 4 of them together. It's the packaging even for these guys is a large version of the VHS tape box from the early 90s, and they recreated on the cover of that the pose of all 4 turtles, together on there.
And if you didn't know,
you have to look twice to know that they did that with these damn figures, and it's not just the picture from the still picture that they used from the movie.
It's amazing. Even holding it in hand, it's just amazing the detail they got into these things.
Yeah. When I was a kid and I had the original Ninja Turtles line, when they made the movie, the quote unquote movie versions of the Turtles in that line, which they had the spots on them and they were like kind of squishy but that's about as close as they got to being representative of actually being from the movie. But those turtles took over as my default turtles to play with from the regular ones once those came out. This makes not only the now me say what amazing figures these are, but still this is all that I have ever wanted in movie Ninja Turtle figures for my entire life.
I don't think I was buying toys at that point. I was 15 when this movie came out. I remember my cousin.
What 1990? I was probably 9.
I remember my cousin taking me to the theater, but when this movie came out on VHS, I must have worn that tape out.
Mm-hmm. It's still one of the best comic book movies ever done, because while it does have most of its influence came from like the original comic book version of them, which I guess that's why some people, like Kid Ninja Turtle fans, weren't really into it, but it's still one of the best comic book or cartoon, whatever the hell you want to call it, adaptation movies ever done. Mm-hmm. I still believe that.
And it flows. The dialogue's great.
It's no longer than it needs to be. Yeah. The whole story comes across. Mm-hmm. The best version of Casey Jones ever is in that movie.
No kidding. And if NECA doesn't do a Casey from the movie,
I'll cry.
I lose a piece of my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought the mask.
Mm-hmm. You could have worn that.
I bought it
over there.
I already did a video.
I know, but you could have done it here too. It doesn't get old.
It doesn't. But yeah, I still need a comic book Casey. I need a Casey for all the versions of the Turtles we have.
Yeah.
Bandai. But
you
can't even get a Shredder.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need a Shredder. They need a Foot Soldier. They need Splinter. They need April. They need Casey.
Uh-huh.
And they need
Tatsu.
What is it? Menthol or
Primatine?
I know. We need a little. Regular or menthol?
Little Sam. That's what's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need a figure of him.
Go check out the East Warehouse over on Lairdman Island.
But I'll agree with you in the couple of minutes that I've been holding this.
Mm-hmm.
These are awesome.
It's pretty much perfection.
If I had, it would be on my list if I had
opened it. They're sitting at your. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All in good time, my friend.
Hey! Not in the back there.
Okay. Are we down to number one?
He's tied for number one for me.
He's tied for number one.
Yep.
I dig your number ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna go back to the well for my number one.
Here we go.
Okay. You know what's coming.
I know what's coming.
I have been talking about this figure, well, probably longer. But as soon as they announced it, I was like, I'm going to get screwed out of this. I need this figure. Not only because I love the character. Well, okay, maybe not the character. I love the group.
Okay.
And this helps finish off that group.
I'm not going to cross-examine you over this one, but
yes, you are.
Maybe a little bit.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because I've already...
Okay.
I got my Zuckus. That's been on my mind since February when Hasbro actually went, we're making a Zuckus and we're making him a Toys R Us exclusive. And I was like, wait a second. My Toys R Us already said they were going out of business in April. Mm-hmm. They weren't even told they were going out. My Toys R Us found out they were going out of business from the newspaper. Oh. And so that day was an interesting day at Toys R Us when they're all sitting on the cash registers and we don't really care.
Yeah.
But from that day forward, I made it my goal to get Zuckus.
Okay.
And I think Hasbro did an amazing job.
He's a good figure. He is.
Under what? Under there?
You're not going to get me to say it. Talk about why you love this figure first.
Because it represents it's perfect representation of what I remember in the movie.
Okay.
Now I'm not comparing it directly with the movie. No figure gets perfectly scale wise, sculpt wise, paint wise, color wise. Mm-hmm. Doesn't happen. But this is damn close to my picture. The only time, I think it was the vintage line. but I've messed with the 12-inch figures a lot, running around the Comic Cons. And the old Hasbro 12-inch figures standing side by side, all the bounty hunters.
All the bounty hunters?
Looks amazing.
Really?
And to have this in 6-inch, getting there, we still have one more to go.
Just one more.
Is
Danger.
dream. A danger. That old dangar. And I, for some reason, I love this guy.
Okay.
He's got his robot companion. They run around the galaxy. I've already made up all my stories. I know there's actually stories with Zuckuss, but this figure represents all that. You know, he's short, but he's kind of a badass. There's a reason he's standing
With
Bosk. Boss. Yeah, and, you know.
The rest.
And IG-88 and Boba Fett and, you know, those guys. There's a reason he's there. And to have him in figure form, there's a reason he's on my shelf now.
Okay.
And it's awesome. And plus, this is the culmination of worry. If I'm going to get this guy.
So you did the segue for me here
Yeah.
because I am not going to argue with you because this is your top 5 plus 1 and some honorable mentions or whatever. So you are entitled to put whatever you want for whatever reason whatsoever on this list, and I am not here to argue with you. However,
I already know where this is going.
I will say this is a perfectly good figure. But he's not even the best bounty hunter figure.
Well, no.
So...
Oh, wait. From Hasbro?
From Hasbro.
Okay.
So... yes, I am biased against cloth normally.
Right.
But this dude got a lot of cloth on him. And the worst part about it is that dude got plenty of sculpt going on underneath.
Yeah, but none of that was showing in the movie.
That's the bad part, right? Because if they would have done him more like Maul or the episode 3 Obi-Wan where they had the plastic to get most of the details, because cloth does not fold properly at this scale. Okay? But I'm not here to argue. But
yeah, I'm not here to argue.
So much, but I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
But the other part of it too is that how he kind of went to unicorn status with my Toys R Us is closed. Now all the Toys R Us's are closed. How the shit am I going to get this?
How dare you question my love of Zuckuss?
And he's brand new too.
He's not brand new.
He is brand new.
For a month.
Okay, I just got him this past week, and he's still out.
He's still out because you love him.
I had the urgency to get this figure because of, yes, I know he's going to land at the Disney store, but I got to drive 20 minutes to get to the closest Disney store, and that's really inconvenient. So my friend in Canada, Mario, found him, grabbed him, sent him to me. Relief, awash over me when this guy arrived. Yeah. And he's fine. He's good.
Because of love.
He's good. But...
no, it's Zuckuss.
I know.
In plastic.
So what's your attachment to Zuckuss as a character?
Look at him.
Yeah, I know, but he's up there with Bosk, IG-88, Boba Fett, and here's this short little dumpy dude.
We're talking about this year.
I know, but okay, he's cool.
No, he is cool.
He's
and
cool.
Plus, if you look at it in the movie, his robes had a little bit of crinkle. Look like this.
It's all been packed away. I can't help it.
But look at that. It looks like brown camo. They did a good job on the robe. And this could be... oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Here, watch this. Watch this. Oh, you need to crinkle it up.
Yeah.
I'm doing this to his figure that he got from Canada.
Yeah.
It's what he looked like in the movie. Maybe a little bit smoother.
Just cuff it.
You're just biased against the cloth.
I'm having.
You're seeing the cloth.
But this being cloth everywhere, it's giving me flashbacks to Leia, and she's not good.
If you weren't biased against cloth,
he would still be the second best bounty hunter that's come out this year.
Who's the first?
Forlom's better than that.
Forlom's okay. Forlom's pretty cool.
He's got
you didn't have Forlom out.
See-through. he's got
the see-through green, but you can't
it.
light it up unless you shoot straight through.
If you catch it just right, but
And
he's such an improvement over the 3PO base body.
Oh well,
too.
yeah, there is that. But he's a droid.
Oh.
It comes out.
You're fucking tending bar on Tatooine over here.
What, you mean the backwater planet of the universe?
Oh, well.
It's essentially planet Arkansas floating around out in the outer rim.
Even in the prescribed bigotry over cannot come into the goddamn cantina.
Because
they let a guy with an ass face come in there, but not the droids.
Yeah, and they go cutting arms off and stuff. Do they get ejected or anything? No, they just wander over, do some business, head on out. Then the stormtroopers show up.
Yeah,
but you can't have a droid in the
bar.
No, I like Forlom. I like the pair together, but Zuckuss.
This right here is awesome.
See, if he had come out with sculpted here and sculpted here,
he would be better. He would be better.
And you wouldn't be arguing with me.
No, I wouldn't.
See?
I wouldn't.
You're biased.
I am, but that does not look good. Sometimes, for some pieces, like this, I don't have a problem with that.
I have a problem with that.
With this?
I don't care for that.
This is better than that in terms of cloth usage on a figure.
This is all shooting out, and if you put the hood up...
But you know what you can do with this?
Yeah.
You can put it on there, you can wet it down, get it where you want it, and let it dry that way. You can't do that with this.
Put this in with this. You can wrinkle it up.
I like this figure. It's nowhere near as good as it should be, though.
What? This is the best we're ever going to get.
That sucks. This doesn't suck, but it sucks that this is the best that we're ever going to get because they really, really could have done this sculpted and articulated up here and provided a little bit more sculpt detail here and then put the cloth in between like Obi-Wan and Maul were.
I don't know how much I like the mixed media though.
But it's kind
even
of
though this
hidden
is
a little
mixed
bit more.
media.
Yeah, you're already there with this. So
yeah, I guess so. But this is still my number one.
I think your number two should be number one in your list.
What was my number two? Oh, maybe your number two should be your number one.
This whole thing's turning into a number two. I like I said, he's on your list and he can be there. But
I love the Zuckuss.
Okay. Is he?
How dare you judge me?
I'm not. But let me ask you this.
Oh Lord.
You put him number one on this list right now. And do you consider him to be the front runner for your figure of the year then? Overall.
When it comes to the end of the year, I'm not sure. When I have my own collection and I can look up at my own stuff, and all that.
Okay.
But at this moment, I mean, any of this can change.
Yeah.
Before the end of the year,
yeah.
and you seriously, this is us spending 5 minutes, looking through lists and stuff.
Right.
This
and
isn't
what's on top of the
everything
bin over there.
Yeah.
So it's the more, recent stuff, but, the Dewback's not on here and it probably should be somewhere.
Oh, man, Dewback would be up there, too. Yeah.
Dewback is better than him.
It's also what Zuckuss represents,
Getting the bounty hunters together is going to be some beautiful thing.
I have, Ray, Gus.
You got a
it's
Star
also
Wars
what
thing
they represent.
Going on.
Yeah. It's all they represent change and, I want to kick my own ass now for his
From the neck up, that figure is awesome. It could have been better.
To you.
I guess in my head, going the all cloth route seems lazy to me, even though they sculpted whatever his long johns are underneath there.
Well, they do that for everybody that wears a robe.
Or Leia, not really. I mean, she's
got her. Well, I mean, what was she wearing under there? Underwear.
Asked every single person who saw,
Underwear.
Not in space.
Not in space.
Carrie Fisher told a story about how George Lucas said there's no underwear in space. Yeah, so, but he's fine.
They've done that with several. Oh, well, Luke had muscle under his tunic.
Especially in the Power of the Force line.
Not that one. Choose your number one.
Yeah. All right. So
I can shit all over it.
But you're not going to.
I'm not going to because I kind of agree with you.
So tied for my number one pick right now is the Marvel Legends thing. And
the battery's going.
Oh, much like Donatello, I am very, very fortunate in that one of my favorite Marvel character of all time also turned out to be one of the best Marvel Legends figures that has been produced to date. And I love this figure with every fiber of my being.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, keep talking about it. I'm going to plug in that camera real quick.
Okay, you want to take a pause here and go back?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll let you.
Okay.
I'll let you have your floor.
All right.
I'll let you have your own number one.
So, I'm very attached to this character. The Thing has always been my favorite Marvel character since the first time I read anything with him, and he subsequently made the Fantastic Four my favorite Marvel team. So I don't have to probably explain to most of you that it has been a rough few years as a Fantastic Four fan, not only in action figures, but comics and movies, right? But with Disney acquiring 20th Century Fox, better times are hopefully on the way, but Walgreens is my Marvel Legends church because they have somehow gotten out a Fantastic Four collection that is totally kick-ass when put together. It's, in my opinion, very modern. So this thing has a lot of rocky detail. He's tall. He's got muscle. He has an alternate head that has teeth to him. But this figure and how he finally turned out, and when I saw pictures of him, I was like, I don't think I'm sold on him. But this figure turned out, he is amazing. This is a worthy choice, along with Donatello, as a number one figure of the year. And like I said, unless something surprising comes out between now and the end of December, Donatello or The Thing is going to be my choice as number one. This figure, not a classic thing. I would still love to see a Kirby version or a more, as you were saying, tube version of him with no muscle definition. And, maybe a bigger brow. But my personal aesthetic choices cannot stand in the way of the fact that I think just about everything about this figure is perfect.
It needs cloth shorts.
We'll put him behind the big pile of excrement. And put the Thing squarely up here because
I do like the Thing figure. There's
it's
nothing
awesome.
wrong. Yeah, it is
it's
wrong.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
I mean, there have been a lot of good Marvel Legends figures that have come out this year, and like I said, I could have done a top 20 of those on their own. But I feel I feel lucky this year because, like I said, not only Donatello but the Thing are representative of two of the best figures, in my opinion, that have come out all year, and it just happens to be, two of my favorite characters of all time. And waiting on this figure, like before it was shown, or even the, since it's a Walgreens exclusive, he wasn't really bandied about in public as far as having like a prototype on display in places, because they didn't have to show him off really because he was coming to Walgreens. That's where he was going to be, whatever. So the publicity figures or shot pictures that they took of it, they weren't convincing. And I was like having heartburn up until the time that they showed him on the card, and it was like, okay, it's looking better. The instant that he was available overseas, I didn't care what I was going to have to pay for him at the time. I was like, I'm getting this figure because I can't wait for him. So I got him in June, and I have been like on this I'm cool now. Marvel Legends, you just come. You just bring the characters and the figures that you're going to bring, because I have this figure now, and even though I would still like other versions of the thing, if they never make another thing figure, I'm going to be cool because this figure is amazing. And he does not have any cloth.
Now,
He's got
everything
shorts.
you just said, replace Thing with Zuckus, and that's how I feel about that.
Okay.
He may not be my favorite figure ever, but we're talking about this year.
Okay.
Because I got Boba Fett last year. Or year before. Or several years
Which
ago.
one?
The Mafexio.
That was last year or the year. I think it was 2016.
Yeah, I think it was the year before, yeah.
2016?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good bounty hunter figure right there.
Yeah. From 2016.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But
So Marvel.
I thought too when I got this figure, and let me rustle about over here. I thought when I got this figure, the head with no teeth showing, and the fists was gonna go on this figure, and there would be no exception to that. When I actually got it, I'm actually torn. I love the open hands. Now, I wish one of the one thing that I wish about this is that his arms could come a little bit closer together so that you could put a fist into the hand like that. He just doesn't quite get there. But that's pretty nitpicky.
You need one with the green clear visor, and this one holding cards, and you need to have a poker table.
So I currently own 7.
That's what I was gonna
of this figure,
yeah,
and I now need 8. So thank you for
that. Yeah, and we saw
one
more
with a thing ring.
and he bought 7. Yeah, okay, you've bought 7. Most people will think, oh, you're clearing out all the Walgreens in the area.
I left 3 today.
Yeah, there's more things at Walgreens around here. Kansas City is a weird place.
It is, but I get what I want. And the other part about this is that everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Gwenpool, she can make the little heart with her hands." But guess what? So can the thing.
Yeah, the thing is cool.
Yeah, I mean, this. Just within the confines of Marvel Legends, I mean, would you say that he's the best Marvel Legends figure that's come out this year? And if not, what would you put above him? Don't you do it.
It's coming out.
Is it?
Yeah. It's been hyper extended.
Oh.
See how it's
like
that? Mm-hmm. This year, Marvel Legends. God, trying to remember everything that came out from Marvel Legends
pretty
this year.
Awesome.
Wolverine's pretty awesome.
There's lots of
several Deadpools.
Several. Omega Red is friggin' awesome.
Bishop
is great.
Pretty cool. But again, those are the last ones I've opened. You know, it's hard to remember back what all has come out this year.
Mysterio's pretty cool.
Mysterio was cool. That Spider-Man series. I like that black costume Daredevil.
Yeah.
That's
Elektra's good. Elektra's good.
And Elektra.
I like the Taskmaster that came out earlier this year.
There was a lot of good Marvel Legends this year.
Yeah.
But this one.
The Ghost Rider on the bike. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
This is the best.
This has a lot of personality to it.
Yeah.
This represents.
And the fact that he was the keystone piece of the Fantastic Four that we knew they were going to make us wait on as the last one. But if you have nitpicks about the other 3, putting them all together with this thing kind of washes that all away, because together that collection looks really, really great. And I realize there's only 4 of them, but for a team that's pretty much kind of been off limits, quote unquote, in a lot of arenas for a while.
Yeah.
They're finished and they look great.
Don't call it a comeback.
Or no.
They've been here for years.
Yeah. But
it looks good. But I think when it comes down to it, Star Wars is more for me. You know what I mean? It's more near and dear.
It would have to be to
and
put Zuckus ahead.
You motherfucker.
I love Star Wars as much, if not more, than Marvel. I really do.
I thought you were going to say me. I love Star Wars. as much, if not more than you.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to say that.
If I had a glove, I challenge.
Plastic bag.
No, I like Marvel. It's just like, yeah. I'll do me.
So, let us know in the comments below.
It's you.
Okay.
I'm not saying there's no wrong answers to this.
There
You act like
not.
I failed a test.
But no, you didn't. But, let's say, okay, you guys are all awesome, but I'm going to ask you guys to come stand over here.
What are you going to go to a different party?
No. These guys are all going to hang out here because you guys were worthy entrants to these lists, and they are great. The Tesseract, you're cool, so maybe you can just stay back here. But let's put it out there and say, hey, these are our picks of the year, and man, at least one of them is cool.
You shut the hell up. You didn't even try. After I posed that bastard.
You posed that one too.
No, I didn't. All I did was stick his gun in his hand.
Well, that's all he does.
That's all he needs to do. That's how badass that bastard is.
He's cool. He's
He's my cool.
Okay.
Wrap this up.